Hey guys, alright, so this is part 2 of skinning your frog. You can see from our previous video, I've been working on my frog pretty hard. As I mentioned, I've left little mittens on the forelimbs, and I've left, so to speak, socks or flippers on his hind limbs just below the ankle bone. Okay, I have freed up all of the tissue all the way up till just about his shoulders and neck. On his ventral side, everything's been opened up and freed here from the mandible. And now I'm going to be working on cleaning up, and you see how the skin works, right? Normal. We've got it almost inside out. And you see how I have my hand on his legs? So this is something that you and your partner can both do together. Have one of you grab the frog like this, use the legs. The other one, the same person holding the legs, is giving some tension on this skin, right? So you're pulling a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. You don't want to rip the head off or anything. And the head part is one of the most tricky parts of removing the skin. It's going to be a bit tougher, a little less space. You just have to get after it. Some of you are going to be worried about the eyes, okay? We hope you do not remove the eyeball out of the head. You most likely will not, but you have to be careful. In the tympanum, all right, we have the external, and you will be able to see it once we start working further. I'm not there quite yet, but it will have an impression on the head without the skin. So you'll still be able to see that. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'll be tugging and working my way, tick, tick, ticking, as I keep tugging like this. Okay, this is the dorsal side of the frog. Tug, tug, tick, tick, and then I will soon be close enough to the nose to just pull the skin on off. All right, I'll get back with you guys here. All right, I'm at the last couple of steps of removing the skin from the frog. You can see the eyeballs are still there, but it's getting really pretty gross and messy. Now I'm doing the same hold that I did before with the legs, but now up in the forelimbs. I'm giving a decent pull, and when you notice it's not quite working all the way, you go in and release a few more pieces of connective tissue. And of course, in this particular frog, you can see this extra redness. Remember, this frog was injected with a latex dye so that we could identify arteries. And it's not that the frog's bleeding or anything scary like that. What we're dealing with here is simply the blood has been replaced with this latex dye. And sometimes the latex dye will cause arteries and capillaries to rupture. And if your particular frog, you find this big pile up of fluid, or not fluid, but latex. Ha! Look at that. This one little piece is the only one that didn't work, and I think that's because he already had a cut on him before I started. So I now have a very wonderfully skinned naked frog. Here is his skin, his face, back together. You can see his eyelids, his tympanic membrane. You can even see the nictitating membrane in here. Oops, sorry, if I could get it in the camera instead of looking at it for myself. You can see a lot of the arteries and capillaries and how highly innervated they are in this particular frog because of the pink that you can see in the skin. And now we have Sir Frogzalot, who is all cute and happy and naked. All right, so after you finish skinning the frog, if you're not moving on to any other part of the objectives, you need to make sure you take the green wetting spray that we have in here and give 2 squirts on the dorsal side, 2 squirts on the ventral side. And from here on out, now that we have a frog with no protective barrier, our job is going to be Also to have the skin moistened, particularly on the inside.